Tech Tales 64. This is June 22nd on a Tuesday morning, 7:04 a.m. Starting with a time slip from the law office Papa. This was on Friday, June 11th, 35 minutes, 9:12 a.m. to 9:47 a.m. for Mike Papa. Phone and remote support to adjust alignment and paper tray 2 selection for new printer in QuickBooks and Quicken. Attempted to disable timed prompt for paper tray and aborted. Disabled news and interest on hover, disabled notifications. So to go back and get some more detail on that, I reported previously she was in Office Depot and I helped her select a printer. She connected the printer and it automatically installed the driver, smooth and easy. And that's another reason why I wanted to assist her with selecting the printer, so she didn't get one of those all-in-one printers that have more complicated installation procedures. It just wanted printing, so it does not scan, does not copy, and she doesn't need that in her private office. And also, when she prints large volumes of pages, she uses the Toshiba copy machine, so it's not going to be a high-volume printer. Then when she first checked that she went to print, she found it wasn't aligned properly, so we had to do an adjustment for that, which is done within QuickBooks and within Quicken. We printed the test page on blank paper. She'd hold it up and see how the alignment is. We'd make an adjustment, and then eventually she printed an actual check from both of the programs and was happy with them. Now, the part about selecting tray 2, on the first print job, the printer was displaying a message to select the paper tray or press continue to confirm the paper tray, something like that. We got it adjusted to the point to where it still gives a prompt on the printer for her to check the paper tray, but if she just ignores it for a few seconds, then it goes ahead and prints. We spent a little bit of time trying to prevent that and then decided it wasn't worth it because she doesn't print massive volumes of checks. But I found that to be an issue sometimes where it's a little difficult to figure out how to override that prompt. I know on previous printers have been able to fix it easily, others not so much, so I don't really have the bottom line solution that's consistent across all printers. I'm guessing there isn't one, and also across all operating systems and all versions of software that you're using, because both the QuickBooks and the Quicken are a bit out of date. There's no need to keep those on the most current version all the time. Now, if you do, keep them most current all the time on everything involved in the process, then I don't know, maybe that's easier. And then disabled news and interest. I noticed the news and interest had appeared on her taskbar, and I questioned her about it, and she says, yeah, I noticed that. I don't know where it came from. She was assuming that she did something to make that happen. So I explained to her it can be turned off. When you pass the mouse over that area, sometimes it causes the computer a little sluggishness, and most likely all of the computers have that. I've just been disabling it anytime I come across it. And I also disabled notifications because I noticed in the bottom right corner she had a number and showing notifications, and I showed that to her and she doesn't need to see that, so disabled them all. Then moving on to Friday, 49 minutes. For the consultancy firm, I've reported a few times Bravo for Kilo in the office, 3:30 p.m. to 4:39 p.m. Old and new computer received. She actually came to my house, delivered her old laptop and new laptop. This client I've spoken about many times. I have reported time slips for both his computer and her computer, and for his computer I have some videos of changing the battery and the keypad, and that was for Sheldon. This is for his wife. I'll refer to as Kilo because she has not been on videos with me. And I'm not providing this work for her for free by virtue of doing videos. I don't have that arrangement with her, and she wants quick turnaround time. So, old and new computer received, began work to migrate user to new laptop, unboxed new laptop, performed Windows 10 initialization using Microsoft 365 account credentials. I want to point out there that when I logged into Windows with her Microsoft 365 credentials, the convenient thing about that is it automatically installs and configures Microsoft 365, meaning Word and Excel and Outlook, just because that's part of her account. So it removed that step from my work because I normally will set up an Office computer with a local administrator account, and then I have to install the Microsoft 365 software for that user's license. Performed initialization steps and began Windows updates. So a first step when I'm doing a new computer is all the Windows updates. And then began, concurrently with that, began updated Fabs Auto Backup from the old laptop. I had previously done a Fabs Auto Backup a couple weeks ago when she was nervous about her data. I had counseled that it's okay because your data is in the cloud, but she wanted to have a full backup. So back then, a couple weeks ago, I reported a time slip on it. I did an image backup and a Fabs Auto Backup. Well, now I need an updated Fabs Auto Backup. Now, why would I do that if it's in the cloud? Because it will update from the cloud anyway. Yes, it will. But if I use Fabs Auto Backup, I don't have to wait for it to synchronize all those files. And she did want a quick turnaround time. So then the next time slip, now that one was on a Friday, and then on Saturday, 10 minutes, 8:25 to 8:35 for the same person, the lab work, the consultancy office on her laptop, copied DougBetts tools to new computer, began user profile restore operation. So that's just 10 minutes. I copied through the network a folder from one of my computers that has all the tools that I want to have available, probably more than I usually need to have available, but it's just one tools folder, has a bunch of subfolders. So I copied that over and began the user restore operation from the Fabs Auto Backup that was done during the previous time slip. Okay, then the next time slip, also on Saturday, also for the same laptop, 32 minutes, 1:12 p.m. to 1:44 p.m. Performed, give her name, performed lab setup of new computer checklist. Began install of all Dell updates, including BIOS update. Note, BitLocker is enabled by default on this computer. I don't know that I've ever come across that before, that BitLocker was enabled from the manufacturer. I considered taking it off, unencrypting the drive, and I wound up deciding not to do that because although I don't know that I've ever done that before. I did a web search on it, and actually I think there was a link within a screen that I was working on from Dell that indicator or that declared that BitLocker is enabled. And it had a link to explain how to disable it and explain that it could take many hours or overnight to disable it. So I didn't have that kind of time because she wants short turnaround time. Typically, I don't like encryption because if something goes wrong with the computer that it won't boot anymore, I could take the hard drive out of that computer, attach it to another computer by USB adapter, and access the files on the computer. That's not so important with this computer because her data files, are stored in the cloud. So I wound up thinking, okay, that's all right. We'll leave that. I'll put a note in the time slip just to put them on alert that BitLocker is enabled. She won't have any idea of what that means, but she does have another computer tech person that operates their website for them that actually is closer to them, has a longer relationship than I, and she turns first to that person for many things, and that person actually selected this computer that she purchased and is the one that advised her that she needs to get a new computer in the first place. So he'll recognize that if she passes that information along to him. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. The next couple of time slips, next 4 time slips are also that computer. So I don't always do this, but I'm piecemealing each time slip for her computer. I have reason to think that will help with her. She's had a tendency to focus on the time slip, so I'm giving her every piece of what's done. And that'll do it. So I hope that was useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.